And we're live. Woohoo. Hey, guys. Hey,
Mm.
and not only do we have a new Kirk, by the way, we got a
No.
new
Really?
commander.
Ooh.
RJB 1714 has just joined the channel at the rank of commander quite a bit
Uh,
before the live started, but thank you so much if you're here.
Amazing. That's how I feel about that. Fantastic.
Yeah.
What a
And
great
Christian
start.
Montgomery. Yeah, Christian Montgomery, $2. He's at work, but he says James T. Kirk is okay with me in any universe. Lives on and prosper. Yes, sir. Oh, man. So,
I want to ask you straight off the bat, how many messages do you think you got then
oh,
about
Jesus.
this, about us talking about it, about what you think? How many, give us a sense of the reaction that you personally have felt from this announcement.
I got at least 15 or so from different people that are like, dude, and they show the article and have you seen this yet? Or you guys might want to talk about this. Yeah, it got a lot of them. How about you? Did you get a lot?
One.
I don't see nobody likes you.
No, well, I have different people that message me. That's the great thing about you being the public face. I just do the work in the back room, whereas you stand out there, getting adulation from the crowds. They
Take the slings and the arrows, and
Yep. I stay at the back and I hear the blood splatter, but also the you're the guy that I'm the Durati down in the back cave prepping the Borg Queen. You're up there, everyone chanting Picard, Picard, Picard. Yeah, there you go. At least
yeah.
on editing days.
Every now and then I drag you out of the darkness and like thrust you into the limelight and go, look, guys, he's important too. But not really. He's British.
And yet put an American on the stream and they'll think, and not Stuart, he's American.
Oh yeah, I've heard that before. People just assume.
You're too polite to stop them. Well, you're not, but
I'm not.
they assume you are.
Most Canadians are, but yeah.
Well, but is it Scottish or is it Irish in your?
I'm mainly Irish and German.
Irish, that's what it was. So that's the side that counterbalances, I think.
Yes.
Tangent. There you go. That was a selection of lovely tangents. I'm gonna start sharing on that note.
Okay. Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome back. I am Captain Foley. He is Commander Calkins. We are Trekyards, and we're here today to talk about the casting announcement for. What's his first name? His last name is Wesley. Is it Matthew Wesley?
It's your business.
Anyway, this new actor that's going to be in season 2 of Stranger Worlds, who is going to be Kirk. Been confirmed. Seen pictures of him with William Shatner, and William Shatner said or tweeted, take care of my ship and my crew, kind of thing. So, but anyway, guys, this is the time to hit that like button. We already have 50 likes, which is amazing. So hit that like button if you're just joining us, or if you haven't already, please hit it. Don't forget the super chat. Super chats are important. They get your voice heard. We do read them all on the air and talk about them. So if you're able to super chat, please do. If you want to join the channel, like RJB1714, who is here, so thank you. Please do so. Would really appreciate that. Like to get a few new members during this live. Another one just joined. Baz T has also joined the channel at the rank of Commander. So welcome, Commander. Good to see you, sir. So yeah, hitting like, super chatting, joining, just turning up for these and being part of the community. We got a great community here with a lot of people that chat back and forth with each other. So we love that kind of stuff. William J is even here. Wow. Baz T, though, just joined the channel at the rank of Commander. So there's another Commander for you, for your Commander's table.
I mean, it's a bit oversized, but we have a laugh. You get to hang out with me, and you're over there in your big ivory throne of Classian skulls. As I know you quite like that one.
Yeah. All right. Well, did you hear that there's a new Kirk? I don't know if you've heard yet.
Otherwise, in George Kirk or Kirk's son Marcus Kirk?
Oh.
Not Marcus Kirk, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, no, James T. Kirk is going to be in Stranger World Season 2. I don't know if you've heard yet.
Or is it James H. Kirk, whatever his actual middle name was that one time?
James R. Kirk.
Maybe it could be James R. Kirk we're getting.
There you go. Problem solved.
That'd be a hell of a little record. Like, yes, this is James R. Kirk. They're transporter clones. And he was James R for a little bit. They became James T. And this is technically James R. Goodness.
I would buy that for sure. Yeah, please make a poll. But guys, like I was saying when he came back, hit that like button. Let's try to get to 100 likes. We have 141 people here, which is awesome. And please hit that join button as well. We've already got 2 new members during this live stream, which is awesome. I was going to ask for 3, so we only need 1 more. So if anybody wants to join up, we'd really appreciate it. It does help us immensely, so please consider doing so. And don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell icon so you don't miss any of the breakdown videos or pretty much daily content that we make. So I was just talking to Samuel before the live started about how I get to see him every day. It's like we're married. And
married in Trek.
Yeah. So,
we did sort of form a bond 7 years ago, so, you know, as endured with astounding little drama.
Well, yes, this is true. This is true, yeah. Although I keep thinking to the future, like 20 years from now, where it's like we're on a documentary somewhere about Star Trek YouTubers, and it's like, what happened between you two? You had such a falling out like 7 years ago. It's like, oh yeah, that bastard, arg.
But it's fine. They'll still ask us about how we initially started, and at that point, we'll curb the tale to even more dramatic. You know, well, this shithead knew nothing about Wrath of Khan. He knew nothing about Wrath of Khan. He did a review. And he sounded like an idiot, and I emailed him a list of changes,
corrections. Yeah. Oh, we got our 3 members today. Whew, sweet. Brian Richards has joined at the rank of captain, so he gets to sit with me at the captain's table. So welcome, thank you very much for joining.
Brian, you skip me. What's wrong with me? You go right to captain's table. I won't take that offensive because it's really useful for the channel, but
he gets to boss you around and ask you to have dinner with him if you choose it.
He bosses other commanders. I'm very selective in who I take orders from. Any amount of very generous, thank you.
Oh, so, William J. Billiam, call him Billiam. Billiam J. The Simon and Garfunkel of Star Trek. Well, there we go. We haven't heard that one before. That's great. I'm more like the Bert and Ernie of Trek.
So let's do it with the poll.
Oh yes, the poll. How do you feel about this new Kirk? Excited? Happy? Not happy? Or we don't need another Kirk?
Which is neither happy or negative. It's just as an abstract thought experiment, you know?
Yeah. Well, we went into Discovery hearing that they wouldn't do this. They wouldn't give us a Spock or anything. Right away they do, pretty much. And I've been saying a long time, I didn't need to see Kirk in Strange New Worlds. I didn't want to see Kirk necessarily, but here he is. There is a lot of bitching and whining going on online. A little bit of it is a little excessive in my
Honestly,
opinion.
I'm more annoyed about the lack of carpets in Picard.
Did you see David Glass's? I shared that picture with the carpet, and he's a whole bunch of back and forth with people, and then like a day later he's got Kirk doing this on Twitter going, just checking out Twitter, seeing everybody's done talking about carpets yet. Yeah.
Oh, so, we'll ask him about carpets, don't worry.
Yeah.
He knows it's coming.
So I didn't need to have a Kirk in my Strange New Worlds because I think it's going to just become the new TOS, the new Kirk and Spock show. It kind of takes the glory away from Pike a little bit. But now that he's here, we don't know the context either. Like, it's still very, very early. This could literally be like a 1-episode kind of deal, some kind of time travel-y shenanigans. It's Star Trek. Anything's possible. So I'm not going to complain about it too much. That's kind of where I'm at. How about you?
I just remember that every single time I did a poll asking do you want to see Kirk, it was always no. Was a majority vote. Always. I know, because we wouldn't love to see Kirk.
Or just at the last episode as a handoff.
Sure. But as some sort of real part of the character. You know, I'm happy / fine to see another Chris Pine as Kirk, because he's not Kirk, he's his Kirk. That's fine. You know, he got better and beyond. I'd love to see William Shatner's Kirk again. That'd be great. Even though he's old man Kirk, being 90, but you know, get him while he can. He's still okay. He went to space, got out. It's a remarkably odd move by them, because they've been forced into releasing this. You know, a man that looks vaguely like William Shatner's Kirk-ish in a gold in a captain's not with the Enterprise badge, which is interesting. We'll get into that later. On set of Stranger World Season 2, I would assume he's not Kirk, but if enough people make that noise, they felt the need to release it publicly and completely ruin a 2-year... Because that might be a big reveal in Season 2, which is a 2023 thing. So that might have just burned one of the big 2023 reveals. Like if they saw Pike... Pike in Season 1 Discovery, and as if they planned it, and were like, oh no, Pike's in Season 2, and like, what? And it's sad, because they risked going outside, rather than stuck in all their facilities, and that instantly got them a big massive spoiler, So it's a fascinating thing that they didn't mean to release it, because they forced their hand. But to then have it either speaks to me, because we don't know the context of Season 1 into Season 2, that's the big thing here. It either says, we are not confident enough in this show that we have to bring Kirk in, which is odd, because this was the only fan-asked-for show. The only one of all the ones we've had. So, if they thought season 1 was that bad, they thought, we'll bring Kirk to save Season 2. It seems insane to me as a concept. And I don't see them going, let's make TOS again, because, well, they made TOS, it was called TOS, it's one of the best Star Treks ever made. Yeah. So doing that is also a non-move. So it's very, very strange. And to have Captain rank is even more stupid / strange.
Yeah.
So it's
like we said,
very weird chess game sort of move.
Yeah, well, like we said, that picture with him in the captain's chair with the Starfleet, with the Enterprise Delta, looks photoshopped. You've said that. It does seem a little off to me as well. Screen. But the thing is,
why does it look off to you? What do you see about it?
Well, hold on. Before we get into that, I don't want to forget my thought.
Sorry.
Which I already just did. Shit. Oh, the fact that you say that they were filming out in public, they got pictures, just kind of forced their hand a bit. I disagree. They could have kept the speculation going. Trek Culture did a good video talking about who it could be. Going through Commodore Decker, and a whole bunch of other people. Which, keep the speculation going for a while. You don't need to announce who it is, and then all of a sudden to drop on Twitter that yes, this is who it is, and even have Wesley, whatever, I can never remember his first name. Anyway, have this Wesley guy on Twitter share a picture of him and William Shatner.
Yes, that seemed odd.
Where Shatner says, Shatner tweeted first and said, "Take care of my crew and my ship, and congratulations."
That one.
And then so. Now, if he was with Kirk, does that mean old Kirk's going to appear too some way? Like, are they going to get Shatner back in Star Trek? Because that would be a big win for Strange New Worlds as well.
Well, it's going to be a strange new world of options. or as George Kirk.
No, I don't want that.
Well, he's still back as Kirk. It's not our Kirk.
Paul Wesley, that's his name.
So why is this one?
Look at the super chats.
Okay, sorry, yeah. What do you guys think?
About white. Joshua Mazarov throws in $5. In the autobiography of James T. Kirk, he becomes captain of the Hotspur at age 27, which fits into the time period of Strange New World Season 2.
That's insanely young to be captain. Shit. Wow.
Well, he was the youngest captain ever, so.
Wow.
We do see that the badge he's actually wearing is a different one, which we'll talk about later, so it could be a different ship. Captain Awesomeness throws in $2. Will they deepfake it like they did with Luke? No, they definitely won't do that. That would be cool, but they're not going to do that. It's not their MO. They'd have to do that with Spock. They would have had to do that with Spock from the beginning then. So.
Well, yes. Star Trek is about let's move forward using the past. Star Wars is about let's actually use the past verbatim. They aren't visually retcon. They aren't. They didn't bring a new Emperor back. Well, the original Emperor back. They're not.
They didn't redesign the X-wings.
Exactly.
X-wings.
Star Trek would rather redesign and bring back and recast. Star Wars would not. You're not getting another Carrie Fisher. You're not getting another Harrison Ford, except in that prequel. But that's a slightly different situation, etc.
Yeah. Totally random reviews. $5. The only reason I would be against this if it takes too much attention away from Pike. We wanted a Pike show. I'm happy with it if it's a minor role. I agree. I don't want the attention taken away from Pike. I want to learn more about Pike's time on the Enterprise, Pike's command style, his crew. I don't really want a rehash of... But having Kirk come back as a recurring character, cool. Down with that.
And this is a slight gloomy before we get into the Photoshop thing. They've already butchered so many characters. At least the original set of teams. Kirk is currently undestroyed. Spock is certainly weakened a bit in the shows, not hugely, but some. There's things they did. By having a new version of Kirk live action younger, they can actively have him have a sister all of a sudden, or abuse his girlfriend, or hurt animals, or be a drug addict. They do whatever they want, and now it's retconned in as being, well, before TOS he was a drug addict. It's like, oh, he hated his mother. Once you open that can of worms, you'd want TNG writers to come in and be respectful, or the Picard team maybe season 2, etc. Like with Picard, you can forever change the character. We can never look at these people again the same way because you've done something so full on to the character. Where novels, they did all these things all the time. They always add stuff, and you said, "Well, it's a novel. It's not it's not real Star Trek, etc."
Yeah.
So having him, and most actors don't try and recreate an acting performance. So he will not be trying to be William Shatner. He'll feel very, very different. And it's so close. Are we saying this man changed so drastically in 4 years? No. So it's just a different version of Kirk entirely. And it's like, yeah, but whereas I'd rather see him then try and be William Shatner if you're this close to TOS, but that defeats the object of having a new actor, of having his performance. But then they change it too much, whatever. So it's a very it's one of the things you just don't need to do. I mean, Spock did it okay, but then it gets name recognition. People will now tune in more season 1 in 7 weeks. That will gain more people's interest.
Well, before we get to the Photoshop thing, 230 people here, which is amazing, guys. Make sure you're subscribed and click the notification bell. Also hit that like button. We're at 107 likes. I want to get it to 180. I think we can hashtag like spike it. So hashtag like spike. Haven't done one of those in a while. We already got 3 new members, but if anybody wants to join the channel, feel free to click that join button and check out the different options available to you. Now, as for this photo, the reason I think it looks a little photoshopped, the shoulders and the neck area look off to me a little bit. Like the shoulders just don't seem to jive with the position of, I don't. It's something about that area feels really off. That could just be me. Also, the fact that he is wearing the Enterprise Delta. When we saw on the street, he was definitely wearing something different.
Because this is what you do to hide spoilers by having swap badges. Yes. But they've already revealed that in the set photos.
Preston M has upgraded his membership to Admiral.
Oof.
So thank you so much, Admiral. That is amazing.
Now you can boss Stuart around. That's all I'll say about that, Preston. Use that power wisely.
That's true. That's true. But no, what made you think that this was photoshopped?
Okay, so there's it. Obviously, overall vibe is the answer, but when you take a high quality DSLR photo, which this is, you normally do it with camera raw enabled, which is it takes all the information from the camera and does nothing to it. So you get a 4 times as big file, megabyte wise, and you do a lot of manipulation to it, which is what I do in all my photo shoots. When you have that, you can do things like raise the black levels or the dark levels, because they're different things, weirdly enough. And those things change the skin feel, because when you take a picture, it's all balanced to how it actually looked, give or take. And so when I look at this, I see the digital manipulation of his head to try and create that visual look by skewing these different light levels, which in my brain I instantly see, oh, that's just a digitally modified to get them best looking photo. That's it. It's unnatural. Now that's one version of that answer. Another version is that, yes, his neckline and his head doesn't feel right to me. Now, I say,
his head seems too small a bit.
Well, that we can't speak. We don't have the guy at all, so we can't speak to his body size. But the way it's framed, it also vaguely looks like that could have been a digital face, as in they've stuck a face on. Just the way that middle bit jives, it doesn't quite look real. It's probably just because of the original photoshopping, but there's a certain disconnect between the look. And this is obviously a press photo. It's not just an on-set, but it's a press photo, saved for whichever season. But it definitely looks manipulated in that small way, if not more. So I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, it looks to me as if they probably put his face onto a Pike shot. Honestly, that's what I think it is the most, because you can match everything else they picked a frame, just a head from a close enough scene on the red cameras they use. You can also do a lot of that same digital manipulation. They put it on, so if we haven't got a press photo, he's not meant to be photoed for an extra year. We'll take a Pike picture, which explains why the uniforms are captain. The wrinkles don't look tailored, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, that's just, I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, that's kind of very much like my brain is like, well,
Is it a different uniform too because of the texturing on the shoulders and the sleeves?
Well, I have got uniform comparisons as well. Though, yeah, the texturing is there in the Stranger World, but the uniform is a question, and I have got things later on. Don't worry.
Well, Casual Trekker has upgraded his membership to captain from commander, so he's no longer a casual commander. He's now a professional captain. So welcome, thank you very much.
Casual captain. I mean, he can just be, he can be like Captain Scott. He was casual. He was captain. Was he a captain? Yes, but.
And it is, Preston, it is promotion day because Matt Boardman upgraded his membership to Admiral as well. So thank you so much, Matt. Admiral Matt Boardman now. So I got to be nicer to you, I guess, and not bother you at night with all my craziness.
That's true. You can now boss Stuart around for things you want him to do instantly. Now, what do you guys think? And Matt as well. You tell us. Do you think this is a Photoshop? Do you think it's a head replacement?
Matt's opinion would be valuable.
Because you're a visual effects artist as well.
Now, I don't think this is the Enterprise either. Not only are the consoles different colors, there's a wood grain, and there's a lack of wood grain on the captain's chair. The arms are actually black that are supposed to be wood. So, small little thing that I noticed.
I knew it was a different bridge, but I haven't actually looked at it. Let me find a picture of the other bridge.
And I have no problem with that. I kind of like the way this bridge looks.
Okay, let's have a look. So we do have a shot of the...
It looks like they have a gooseneck in the background, too, on the one console.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? Okay, so Pike's version is also black and silver. That's the same as this.
Oh, the chair?
Yeah. From the press. I can't see, there's a banister in the way if there's a wood grain. I don't know.
Just the copper color is different for sure.
Lighting wise, it feels different. But that also could be color grading. But I would not be surprised, and honestly, I would assume he'd be on a different ship. I don't think any of us are going to complain if they say this is not Farragut, but whatever the ship the other guy said. It's like, oh yes, they all use Connie bridges. It's fine. Like we accepted that. That's a fun quirk. It's gonna be fun seeing him command his own ship. And Ratho Khan is so successful for using like 7 sets for the entire film. But definitely lighting here is different. Distinctly different.
Snoopy McQueen throws in $5, so thank you. Want Pike and Spock show, and do not make Kirk bisexual. I will not watch it. It doesn't bother me one way or the other, honestly, but it's a little of an annoyance, but overall it's not important.
I mean, it's the way I stand on that is, if it's the future and you would accept dating Andorian is more weird than a human man because the biology is so different. I mean, so many alien races have totally different biology. We don't know actually exactly what it is, but we assume it's not going to be identical. So already you're crossing this big barrier of intent, and obviously most people don't date aliens in the abstract, but lots will, etc. But once you open your mind up to that, but we're still who we are, and there's still a subset of a subset,
Yeah.
Most people are straight. Most people, it's still sliding scale of probabilities. But just don't need to change the classics. I mean, I'd be fine if he fancied a very alien male person because it's barely a male, more like a male actor. But I mean, it's like, but there's really thing. I don't know.
A lot of people are saying the head scale feels off. Matt does say it does feel very much Photoshop to me. Feels like they put his head on Ensign Mount's body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great.
It's almost.
It is great
almost
though.
But it's almost not. It looks like a shot from the show because it's not a posed photo. Otherwise, there would be no wrinkles. The bottom wouldn't be pushed up the way it is there. It would be pulled nice and tight for a publicity photo, So it feels like it's a still from one of the episodes, perhaps.
Well, I don't know. I mean, not at that sort of form. I don't know. I mean, so I was able to get a image from StarTrek.com of an extremely high resolution, to the point where if you went anamorphic, the cameras they film at would have to be literally full resolution 8K picture to achieve this. So it's definitely not a shot from the show, not at all. And I'm looking at a picture of Pike, who... Oh, okay, I'll bring it up because it's actually quite interesting. Ah, Stuart. This is what we do, isn't it? We just... This is our job. Oh, dear. So here's a picture of Pike from the original cast announcement Fantastic trailer. And in this iteration, you can see the captain's chair. You can see the lighting on the bridge was incredibly more white and clean. Now, colour variation or whatnot, but the uniform colour is extremely different. To the point of almost being not at all the same. But he does have a lot of wrinkles, does Pike, even in similar places, which might just be the shoulder pads, but... Oh my... What? That's interesting. In this Pike shot, there's a wrinkle exactly where the comm badge is, matching Pike, matching this Kirk shot. There's a wrinkle almost exactly there. Is this the same shot? Is this the exact same shot? Because his hands are even... Well, not identical, but very similar.
Yeah.
Huh.
And Mr. William J. Sorry, Will. Says, I appreciate the wrinkles. Reminds me of TOS when the blue uniforms did not behave half the time. Yeah. I don't have a problem with the wrinkles at all, but...
Well, it doesn't look
Gene Roddenberry
great,
was anti-wrinkle.
Well, it doesn't look great, but it's a top. You know, it's real life. Well, it's not real life, but no. I mean, the color grading here is so interesting. One is a Star Trek Beyond color, and one is a bright orange. One odd idea. I mean, if you look at it that way, they've really boosted the colors. I can't imagine this is the actual shade, especially if we have the on location shot, which is a very similar gold. So they've really pumped up the orange factor on this shot for some reason.
Yeah, well, the Anson Mount one looks like the cage kind of more muted yellow. And this looks like more like falling in line with Discovery when we saw Pike in Discovery Season 2, the more kind of sharper, I wouldn't say orange necessarily, but the more darker yellow. So.
I mean, it would be nice if each season they changed the elements to get closer to TOS, like, and extended slightly. That would be a nice symbol of just little things every season.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely has a Photoshop vibe to us. So that's the maybe slightly faked picture, which still looks great. But it's very press photo-y. Although we have seen plenty of press photos from Discovery and such, and they don't ever feel this way. So the fact this feels different already, a bit strange.
Yeah.
Then you've got the on-location pictures, which are far better fitted uniform, and you can see these press these pictures. Well, yellow uniform, of course.
Well, that's out in the daylight. Yeah, there's actually two different colors there when it's the same shot, right? So.
Well, in fairness,
same shooting day.
The lady's red looks very similar to the other red. Although it's weird that her braids are red reflective. That seems like a silly. TOS, they're all gold, so it stands out differently. Why would you make them red reflective? That seems like a bad choice.
That's just one of the new aesthetics, I think.
That's a bad choice.
Yeah.
At least when she's in season 2.
Yeah. And Gary, yeah, we were looking at the hands. The hands are very similar in those two photos, but I don't like Kirk's badge here. It's too thick. It just looks stupid, honestly. But hey, what do I know?
Well, that's the next thing, isn't it? The badge, which is this shape apparently, roughly. It's definitely not Enterprise. Definitely Vibe. Not as sleek, but still the same current uniform iteration. So clearly it's on from a different ship, which is great. I mean, you can't really... it has to be from a different ship. But an even younger Kirk, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't even look like Kirk in these two shots. I know it's a bad angle, of course, but... Like this, I wouldn't have thought it was a Kirk at all from these pictures, these two.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't even get the sideburns right. Why aren't the sideburns pointed? Come on, guys. Simple rule in Trek. Point the sideburns. Come on.
IMEC throws in $10. If those badges don't do anything, why are they so big? It's weird to me.
Huh.
Right? They should just be patches on the goddamn uniform, but hey. And also, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a shot or a video of him coming out of the trailer and walking away, like with the coat on. His pants are very skin tight. Like they're not boot cut or anything. They're they're not like the original TOS style. They're very much tight, and his shoes are weird. They almost seem like gym kind of shoes, or they don't feel like boots. But small little thing, I just noticed it and thought it looked kind of strange.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well,
but it's great to see them, and certainly the shots here were very odd because there were public around them. And this is during filming shot, and there's public walking by them. I mean, just out of the, so there's no like grand sweeping shots. I'm very intrigued to what it's going to be.
There's cars in the background and stuff from where the cameras were apparently, so it could just be a going through time shot or something. Like there's some weird context there that we don't know yet. So
I mean, or it could be as simple as we want natural light, so we'll. But then why there in particular? But I mean, it would be. I mean, if they were being really fun, clever, they could always say, "Wouldn't it be interesting if they also go back to the Bell riots?"
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. 2 times in 2 years, also going into present day. Is that cheaper and less expensive to film? I don't know. But the way it was framed, normally you close off a segment of or you set redress, and this looked very much like just they are on a street.
Looks like they literally pulled up in a bus and said, "Let's film here real quick. I don't have a filming permit. Let's just do."
Yeah. They won't notice us.
Yeah, usually they would close off a street or something and have like a few extras roaming around if they wanted to do a back in time scene. So.
Or they try and channel, Star Trek Double Dash on You.
Star Trek 4, where they just filmed out on the public streets.
Yeah. But then.
Yeah.
But that's the thing though. Any situation you put him in, he experienced those moments. When Kirk is on those streets in Star Trek 4, that is new to him. He's never been to modern day Earth. He's never experienced that culture, modern day for them. He's never experienced 1980s. So if having it in 2024 won't be that different culturally in the grand scheme of his culture. So hopefully it's some like very minimal I'm back in the past for a few seconds. And also, with a Khan, or with a Noonien Singh, I should say, that's the thing. Why would you be as impressed or as not impressed? You would, of course, mention to Khan and TOS that you've met a descendant. So Shafi have to not know who she is or lose his memory. I mean, these are silly things to do unless there's really well thought out or MacGuffin-y things.
And Jeff W. says, couldn't they just be hanging out with a break from filming? Well, no, you wouldn't just wander outside into a street that's nowhere near the studio and have cameras and a whole crew there. You can see a lot of the crew in the photos and stuff. And no, absolutely not.
Well, not just that, but these are spoilers. You don't just tend to walk around in full uniform. You would put a jacket on or take the jacket off, as in a jacket over the top, because he's not announced until yesterday. So, very strange.
Yeah.
But it does, like I said, it feels as if they know Stranger World Season 1 isn't as strong as they want it to be. Something didn't go quite well, so they said, right, we're going to bring Kirk for Season 2 to try and generate the buzz to make it keep going. Problem is, they blew that buzz pre. So if this was their big Season 2 reveal, it's gone. But they already started filming, so they are able to take fan feedback. Although we can't, a friend of mine talked about him. He said, I can't pass judgment on this guy. And I said, well, no one can. It's a guy's face in a uniform. Like there's nothing to take from that in terms of like his performance. You can't judge him as Kirk. Now, if he was in like a TOS uniform, then there'd be something to pull from that directly. The other badge being the only truly new detail, which is great. But
Terry West says sideburns are not correct. I think they're supposed to be more angular. Yeah, they are. They're supposed to be pointed. There's a strict degree and all that. Samuel pays attention to that in his fan films too. He does his sideburns like that if he needs to.
Yeah, once I was told. You can't sort of go back.
Let's see here. Dreamer out there throws in $5, so thanks so much.
Thank you.
Unless this is heading to a 21st century TOS reboot, this seems unnecessary to me. Otherwise, I don't see this doing canon any favors. Well, they just have to pony up and say, you know what, this is a reboot. This is not Prime Timeline. This is something new. This is the Discoverse. Yes, you guys have been right all along. It's the Discoverse. We were just kidding that it was Prime. If they pull that, then I'd be way more happy with a lot of this. but that's what it is in my head anyway. So that way I can enjoy it and just kind of go with the flow. So. And Simon Uphill puts in €5. Folks on Strange New Worlds have said it will move towards a TOS aesthetic. That new bridge and uniform looks more TOS-y. Simon, they were saying that in Discovery Season 1. Oh, by the end of the season, by the end of whatever, it'll look way more TOS. Okay, we're still waiting. And then, now we're in the future. Well, shit. Unless they handed it off to this because they went a different direction with Discovery.
Yes, it was amazing, that famous line of, don't worry, by the end it'll all line up with canon. It's like, no, it didn't. 100% didn't. I mean, just plainly lying to fans. But I mean, that's, Kurtzman, not a man you go with if you're the fan base.
And Boardman says, I do find this an interesting choice to release this information now. We've just only gotten a teaser for Strange New Worlds, had hardly any promotional information on the cast, so why do a Kirk announcement now? It is an odd choice. It is definitely an odd choice. Like I said, they should have kept the speculation going as to who this could be. It could be another captain, it could be a Commodore, it could be
somebody another captain. We could knew that by the pips.
Well, yeah, by the rank stripes, yeah. But it just, they should have kept it going for a while and not just blew their load all over Twitter the day after those got released. Like, it just seemed a bit much to me. So it's an odd choice, you're right.
Now, the only thing to say about that, though, is that it was people, if they didn't reveal it, there'd be a discussion, and then people forget about it. Because it became an interesting thread, they thought, let's gain bonus. Picard is doing really well. Discovery is a thing that people have seen. This is another way of getting free hype. Accidental, yes, but they saw people are discussing, and now they've gained. They had trending on Twitter, etc. So they've gained free publicity. Just hope this isn't a big, genuine, twisty, reveal-y element. Because we'll be literally now waiting every single week for him to come in. There's no reason to say he's not in season 1. No reason at all.
Yeah.
We just saw him now. That's the thing about secrets. You keep them, But not to be too. Matt Decker, who's currently in the chat, just tweeted me a new picture of him. So, synergy. We are live, proving that. Although not the highest resolution. This is a picture of him on set, looking a bit less happy. And you can see, yes, very tight trousers. Good for him.
Yeah, it's a weird choice.
Definitely a much better fitted uniform, and it's a nice uniform, very beyond-esque, and very, very thick comm badge, insanely thick.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's an experimental device of some kind that I don't know. I'm trying to make things up here. Maybe it's an alien technology that he's wearing for some reason. Because why is he with Lon Noonien Singh as well? That's what I want to know.
I mean, I'd all be for. I will be for some sense of memory loss. So you can kind of play to an extreme, and then at the end his memory's all gone. I'd be fine with that. As long as it doesn't affect his character too much.
Iamisi throws in $10. Would have been nice to actually get Kirk at the Academy, like 2009 was supposed to be instead of Insta-Captain.
Would it, though? I don't know if I'm that interested in him as a cadet, because he's so different. He'd be so different to how we knew him, that he's just a guy called Kirk. Part of why we like Kirk is because he had the commanding presence in TOS, he had the inline attitude. Just seeing him being 19, I mean, he's just going to be some guy. It's like Han Solo. He can't have all of his basic traits that early, but he's only defined by those traits. So, of course, dice, etc., all those things.
Yeah, and from a cosplayer's perspective, William J. says, as a cosplayer, not excited for those pants. Yeah. Suck it.
Well, let's be fair. Cosplayers that have a few more pounds, it is what it is anyway, with anything. Any uniform,
You call him William fat?
Nope.
William J is not fat. He's gonna have to be adjusting his pants all the time. It's gonna ride up. Dreamer out there, $2. No full Strange New World trailer yet. This is a bad sign to me. Yeah.
Well, yes, no, but that's the thing. There's so many shows that any individual element takes away from every other show right now. You have to time it. I would assume you get a trailer by episode 4, if not 5, of Picard, because then it's kind of run its course of being, ooh, look at all the new Picard. That's what makes sense to me, but we'll see. They're still focused on that. So here is our costume breakdown that we did in our last version of this, but I've swapped out the alternate Kirk for this version, so you can see the uniform evolution. And this is where it's worth pointing out that the version of this Kirk on the bridge with the Enterprise Delta, his neckline is matching Pike's neckline in the trailer and Spock's neckline. However, in the outside pictures, his neckline is all the way up to a more TOS level as his is. And that distinctly is a different vibe. So my guess is that the season 1 version of the uniform has the neck black very, very low, which is the only thing we've called out. It should have a black rim or a neckline. And they've raised it to kind of give that black back because they thought, oh, it's not quite worked season 1, let's just season 2 and make it higher. And I think it looks a lot better with that. It kind of looks like Beyond uniform almost entirely now at this point, but that's definitely a different black, different height. And the fact that this is not how he looks in the press photo tells us also it could be Pike. But apart from that, that's the only difference in the season 1 versus season 2 version.
Oh, it just looks to me like there's an undershirt that's black that maybe when you're out walking around, the black one rides up a little bit. And Spock just has his just currently pulled down because it's on set. So
it's possible, but every shot of Pike, in every location, every scene, he's had it that low. And those scenes he's standing,
so
he's
far,
walking.
we haven't seen much.
No, but it's interesting there's such a distinctive difference in the two. And because the same Lan also had it higher. So both of these pictures, season 2 costume, it's distinct. Every single other picture is lower. Because it does just feel more like the TOS one, just by having that thicker black. It just brings you back into that.
This could be an alternate reality for Kirk. Like somebody showing him his future, going, if you make the wrong choice, this is what your life's going to be like, and it's going to be weird. He's going to be captain of another ship or whatever, and maybe some weird outcome that is not desired. So he changes his path a little bit and then becomes captain of the Enterprise. There's a lot of explanations in sci-fi.
Maybe since they got John Delancey, get Q in this. I mean, not aging Q, have him in there. But I do hope that every season they'll modify the uniform. Because if season 1 is the lower black, season 2 is a higher black, season 3 could be the neckline changed to black. That would be iterative costume development and eventually get us to a TOS look just about. Shall we thoroughly happy about.
Simon Uphill throws in €5.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Simon.
much, Simon. True enough regarding previous SC. I hope this will be a short intro with Kirk, captain of a different ship, and set him up for taking over Enterprise at the end of Strange New Worlds. Yeah, that's totally what I would be on board for. We've mentioned it before that if Kirk did show up, it'd be nice if he came in like part of a team from another ship. He's like lieutenant commander or something, and is kind of there and kind of makes an impression on Pike or not Pike necessarily, because Pike may not pay attention to him.
Spock,
but like number 1 or Spock.
Get the first time they meet. That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Or cute anyway.
So, I mean, lots of possibilities for that, but it doesn't look it that way with the captain's stripes on his arms, so... Yeah.
It's true, you can't meet Pike. But it would be fun then if some of the crew need to go to a separate ship for a separate mission, Kirk being nobody, he's the only ship in the area, half the bridge crew go onto his ship, he says, oh, that Enterprise is a good-looking ship, and they warp out, and that's the first time seeing the Enterprise would be in Strange New Worlds. Could be nice. A 2-crew, 2-ship mission for a brief time. He's just happens to be the closest dude. Closest captain would be acceptable. I kind of hoped, and I've joked to several people today, my best case would be, let's say, Strange New World Season 5, right? The very last scene is this guy playing Kirk, now in full TOS uniform, on the Ticonderoga sets, beams in after the refit, walks through the corridors, ends on the bridge, and we end the whole show with a TOS Connie, and it's like, yes, we finally came full circle. And that they were going to get us to TOS eventually, respecting the canon of every other show, because every other show has shown TOS. Because those sets exist. You can literally walk through the entire soundstage of Star Trek classic series. So that's how you end Strange New Worlds, is in the TOS sets, showing that full, respectful evolution. Wouldn't that be just tremendous?
Yeah. Casual Trekker, $5.
Thank
For
you.
me, it makes me think that other crazy wild thing they do that we don't know about in season one. Yeah, we don't know anything about season one at all. So there could definitely be some kind of tie-in to that for sure. But like Samuel said, now that they've announced them, every episode would be like, oh, is there going to be? Oh, they're going to do this is a time travel thing. This alien race can do time travel. Okay, we're going to see Kirk in this episode. Like, we're always going to be on edge now. So. Christopher Peterson, $10. Thank you so much.
Thank
That
you.
was awesome. I don't always want a new actor playing Kirk, but when I do, it's Vic Mignogna. Oh, jeez. Chris1 puts in $5.
Thank you.
Was it really wise to cast 39-year-old actor as quote-unquote young Kirk? Well, he does look very young. He looks college age, I think. He does look like the young guy, so... but if this is something that lasts 30 years, 40 years, and he has to come back, yeah, that's a problem. So, and Roche, $5 could be a flash forward to the future of the Enterprise, an alternate future of the Enterprise, maybe. Yeah, it could be a lot of things. That's what we're not getting the context here. So. But yeah, where they tout this is a huge thing. Kirk is going to be a big part of the show. Yeah, I think so. Maybe season 2 though. 307 people here, which is amazing. 177 likes, guys. Hit that like button. Let's try to get up to at least 200 likes. I think we can even do 250 at this point. Hit that like button if you haven't. Keep the super chats coming. We already got 3 new members and a couple of promotions as far as the channel membership goes. So if you guys are able to, please click that join button and check that out and see if you can join our meager little channel here and become part of the crew. Get yourself a rank, and it's a way to support us on a monthly basis if you're able to. We really appreciate that. So, and all 320 of you here as well, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and click that notification bell icon, because we do pretty much daily content, breakdown videos and stuff like that, plus these lives where you guys can participate. So please be a part of the community any way you can. And like I said, that join button's there. Click it. 192 likes right now. It's going up. So let's try to get to 250. I'm setting a goal for 250, guys.
So finish the poll, Stuart. We've got a lot of votes. Let's see what people say.
365 votes. Wow.
That's tremendous.
How do you feel about this new Kirk? So the winner is we don't need another Kirk, 38%, followed by a tie with excited and happy, both at 25%, which are the same emotion pretty much, and not happy at 13%. So, yeah, interesting. Interesting results.
Yeah. And I personally don't know who this actor is, this new one. I've not seen him in anything. He's a total unknown as far as I'm concerned. But I didn't know who Chris Pine was either, so, which is good. I mean, for me, he's not like a heartthrob guy. He's just some guy. I mean, all of the people from Stranger Worlds are just new people.
I knew Anson Mount I knew him from Discovery first, and then I watched Hell on Wheels and got to know him as Cullen Bohannon, which he did beforehand. And so.
Yeah, I recognised Anson super vaguely from his failed Marvel show that no one watched or liked. I just found that amusing. No offense. But I've got some more graphics I've pre-prepared because I want to look at... I was interested, so I made this little graph of the evolution of William Shatner as James T. Kirk to see how did he look through the ages, and does the new act look like any of him or not. So this is Kirk from top left to bottom right. You've got Kirk in his first appearance in the second pilot. You've got Kirk in season 1. You've got Kirk in season 3. You've got Kirk in TMP. You've got Kirk in Star Trek 4. You've got Kirk in Generations. From first to very last appearance through the years. Let's just praise Shatner for a minute. What do you think when looking at old William Shatner's face?
That's a weird question.
Stare at that face, Shirt. Stare at Shat.
I'm a huge fan of Kirk. Kirk is a hero to me, so I think these are... I just respect the guy. Seeing him now, he looks very different. So I'm glad to see the Kirk that I know and love here represented. So, um, but yeah, I mean, going back to his youngest one, I can see why they might have cast this guy, this new guy. Um, but the ever evolving hair of Kirk as well. Just gotta say,
Yeah,
man.
I look at there's rumors around, but you look at the top two Kirks. It's sort of normal man's hair, a bit of wave, and then I
Yeah,
associate the movie Kirks with kind of Afro-esque hair,
yeah, a little
and
bit.
it's like, but it became fuzzy. That wasn't your hair 20 years ago. We know, we saw it.
But you can tell a lot of times in TOS, it looks like he's wearing a toupee because the hair on top doesn't necessarily grow. It's the same length, but the hair at the sides gets kind of longer.
Right.
Some scenes from the back, it looks really obvious. That's kind of I think where that came from. I
Well,
don't know if it's never been established as fact. I don't believe the Shatner toupee,
well,
but
if it was a fact, the fact there's not a single picture that exists that's been shared, you would think somebody would take a he would have his hairpiece off sometimes. Someone would take a picture when he's not thinking about it. The fact there's not a single picture
yeah,
is interesting.
yeah, it's a
Although I,
conspiracy.
although I like how I was watching a Walter Koenig piece and he said he was wearing also a hairpiece even
Hmm.
as young as like Star Trek 6, 5, 4. Like he lost his hair
Hmm.
really early and it's like, oh my god, really?
And his first season, he was wearing a wig
Well,
because his hair hadn't grown out yet to have that monkey style hairstyle. That's what they're going for. So
but I think if he was roughly balding and Shatner was, they're both wearing full hair pieces. But Koenig had great hair. Hopefully I won't lose my hair at certain, hopefully I'll keep it for a while.
no, but I think they did a good casting job as far as somebody that looks like Kirk. I want to see how he acts. Like I haven't watched Vampire Diaries. I don't know what his cadence is like, what his voice is like. Is he going to alter that for Kirk? I know Chris Pine did not attempt to do an impersonation of Kirk. He did his own thing, which is what you should do, I think. But I want to see how this guy is in this role. It's hard to say how he's going to approach the role. I mean, actors do act differently for different characters if they're talented actors. Uh, you know, but you got some actors that are always just themselves, like Ryan Reynolds. He's always just Ryan Reynolds. Although there's the odd drama or comedy where he might be a little different, not quite as sarcastic. But so I don't know. I don't know where this guy fits on that acting spectrum, but
Is even
it'll
Canadian,
be interesting.
you know?
He must be Canadian. Anyway, um, Eric Martin throws in $5. Good to see Eric. I vote for a deep fake Kirk, just like with Luke. We just talked about that earlier. Trek doesn't do that. Star Wars is very much a different beast. They didn't change the X-wings at all. They didn't change anything. It's how it should look. Star Trek likes to do new things and recast the roles. So I think deep faking would be too much of a process anyway. So
Yeah, it's you couldn't have as a real character then. I mean, Luke is they spending so much money, and it mostly works. But you couldn't do. I mean, you
yeah.
especially couldn't have the swagger of a Kirk, etc.
And Des says the guy is a good actor. I've watched Vampire Diaries because of my sister. Des, and he can act. So that's good to know. Good to know. I still want to see him as Kirk, though. I want to see that'll be the that'll be interesting to kind of talk about his performance compared to Shatner's and Pine's. Um, his acting wasn't bad. He doesn't scratch his head with a hot phaser at least once, then he's not, and it's not canon. When did Kirk scratch his head with a phaser? I seem to remember that for some reason because that was kind of funny, but I can't remember when that was. Let us know. Still about 300 people here, 215 likes. We're not up to 250 yet. I don't think you guys misheard me. I said 250, not 215. So please hit that like button if you haven't. Keep the super chats coming. And don't forget that join button. Check it out and see if you want to join the channel. Bottom line here, there can only be one TOS crew, says the old man in me. Okay, JGG 1701.
Well, I mean, there's a reason why Star Trek is iconic, and a huge part of that is because of William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy and the crew. You know, it's an immutable fact. If there'd been the fact that they had to recast the Pike actor shows that it wasn't working, etc. You know,
I missed that because it cut out, but
that's okay. Just
I heard the fact that.
yeah, it's fine. But no, it's but anyway. Here's the Shatners. So the last graphic I have
The Shatners
is another interesting perspective. This is the young or normal Kirk and older Kirk, William Shatner, and the youngest Pine and the oldest Pine and the new guy. This is how the comparison is. And in fact, I was shocked. The two Pines, I mean, one looks like a 12-year-old kid, one looks like an adult, despite being not that far apart. He definitely, lost his youth face. Hairstyle in a second, but Pine lost his youth face very quickly. Like, those are not... But the hairstyle, that is just... The fact that he's mimicking Kirk hair, I never clocked, but clearly in 09, no. But there is such an obvious impetus to make it look like Shatner hair, which then you now see in the new guy, that's Shatner's hairstyle, roughly. But it seems odd, like,
I can see why
we
they
know
got,
what his hair looked like, so you should replicate that. Like, that's how it looked.
Yeah, you compare the TOS Kirk here to the new guy, and you can see a lot of similarities.
That's why I done it.
At least to my mind, anyway. So, at least, see, here's the thing: they have casting calls for these roles, right? And I was thinking about this earlier today. Was there was it in the newspaper? Casting call for a William Shatner, young William Shatner lookalike?
You wouldn't have a casting call for this sort of thing because it'd be massive spoilers. You would actively have...
I know, that's what I was thinking about earlier. Like, how do they handle it?
No, they would say, right, we're going to have a Kirk. We're going to go to casting directors and say, who have you got that could fit this? And they're all under NDA. They suggest people, and then they potentially then email those people saying, hey, send us an audition tape for unknown part, playing unknown character. He's cocky. They do a show, and they come and do more takes. Or they say, we want these 5 people. Let's give them who they're playing, and then bring them in, and we see. If someone this important...
A lot of time you have a first pick, a second pick, or whatever. If you're in the industry, you know the people.
Yeah,
so you're like, I like the guy from the Vampire Diaries. I think he could pull this off. Let's just him.
If it's super distinct, yeah. Which is often, luck. But then also if all the side characters are going to be casting calls, or as I explained then, but from the other side of the fence, then as an actor, your agent gives you a thing that they think you'd be good for because that's their job to give you work because they get money from it. And then you go and do your audition. So those are the two things. So I'm sure the other people in the cast just got a notice and they audition, etc. But I think this definitely shows, I think, the best sign of good job on casting Kirks, because all 3 of these share something, or all 5 of these, but there's something here, Although, Chris Pine youngest was the thinnest, but this guy's pretty darn thin. Shatner had a certain baby weight that this guy's missing. Yeah. I have no opinion either way if it's good or bad, just distinctly thinner.
Yeah. Eric Martin, though, throws in $5. I hope they did the Kirk Risk speech for the new edition, for the new guy's edition. That separates the men from the boys. Risk. Risk is our business. That's what this starship is all about. That's why we're aboard.
And I'll be honest, I did just quote that in a fan film.
Nice. Synergy.
Yes, happenstance.
Fart Muffin puts in $2. New Kirk looks more like the Red Squad leader in DS9. Actually, he does. Holy shit. You're right. Terry West says, I think the new guy looks too thin. They could be doing that deliberately because it is a younger Kirk. So one way to make somebody appear younger is to have them a little bit scrawnier. I was pretty scrawny back in the day. I don't know if you've seen pictures of me when I was younger, but I was like a beanpole, and I didn't put on any weight till I was like 34. And I started putting on weight. Yeah.
That's my age you got to look forward to then.
Yep. That's when shit gets real, man.
Yeah, but you have the maple syrup diet. We have the tea diet, so different fuel sources.
It's true.
But guys,
Zaraxis.
I want to see $50 more at least. We haven't yet hit our minimum. Great channel membership, that's superb. But at least $50 more would be important. I'm kind of surprised how few, considering although a lot of people here. As this is the last thing we're going to show today.
We're still not 250 likes, guys. We're 2 away. We can do it. Zaraxis, though, throws in $5. Personally, I think preserving chemistry between characters is more important than preserving perfect visuals. If the spirit is there, I can work with it, in my opinion. No, I totally agree with that. But somebody that visually looks similar is helpful, and you can get that with actors. I find so. But yeah, I agree with you. The chemistry between the characters is super important, and I can see him and Spock being side by side, and or like Ethan Peck. I can picture that in my head, and But again, you got to see how they play off each other, how they interact with each other, how they both act their parts. So.
Well, because that's honestly the most important thing. Weirdly enough, that chemistry, that relationship, they'll share some screen time. That is the definitive relationship of all of Star Trek. So that they have to nail instantly. But that said, in terms of look versus vibe, I do not think that Pike and Mount feels at all like Jeffrey Hunter. Not at all. On purpose, but I wouldn't call them Pike at all the same. He's older, he's gone through a midlife crisis, he's different. But he's not trying to be at all Jeffrey Hunter, but we accept him because there isn't much Jeffrey Hunter overall. So he's a more interesting Pike, he's going to have more screen time, so he's overrode. Shatner is the exact opposite. He's had all of the screen time, and even games and stuff, very distinct how he is. But we don't know his chemistry with anyone except the main cast, and he will not have any of the chemistry with Spock because they're not the same people yet. Spock sings, etc. at this point. I mean, he's still maybe yelling about the circuits or not. So if that's all a visual reboot prequel, which is what this is, you might as well have an actor that just at least harnesses who William Shatner was. I would expect him to use the same extravagant pauses. He should be honestly studying who Shatner is, because if he can incorporate that into his performance, that's the most key thing.
See,
if it doesn't look like Shatner, fine, but those elements of what Kirk is fully defined by Shatner. The ultimate Shatner thing didn't ignore entirely, but he was a different person from day one. He was born in a different place at a different time,
Yeah. What was I going to say here? Fart Muffin says the new uniforms are tailored like football jerseys. Drop the shoulder pads. Fun fact, there's been shoulder pads in almost every uniform. Samuel will tell you.
Yes, when I take my uniforms to the tailor shop, I say, shoulder pads! That's the only thing you have to do. Always shoulder pads.
They're not. You don't have to be huge ones. Just ones to have that crispness.
And very specific. They go the opposite. They expect normal shoulder pads. They end at the line of the line. They're very specific to create that shoulder. And also, if you're a female, you actually have bralettes inside. At least for TNG. Which is dumb, but I mean, well, that's it. I have had several women. Well, I've had several women in costumes, and I will admit that different costumes things sit differently, and so I can imagine.
I've had several women out of costumes.
So
which is better.
Well, it's fun seeing in uniforms, so I don't know.
I'm the captain for a reason.
So say we all, that is the way, all the things. But for real, so I can imagine a uniformity of things should sit in a certain way for just, comfortability, etc. So actually, I haven't really seen that and be like, well, you look better in that uniform than that uniform. Reasons. We're saying with some uniforms hide stomachs better, hips better. It's just how these things are fitted. So they all give different views and things. Yeah.
Eric Martin throws in $20. Thanks so much.
Fantastic.
If they do as good a job on this show as Picard season 2 so far, I can forgive a few details being. That's the fine line, though. That's that. They got good writers and good stories.
But it's an entirely different team, so there's zero reason to think it'd be as good for that sense. No one's chasing Alex Kurtzman and Akiva Goldsman. Probably Glenn Hedrick and those guys. But I even, put in the chat right now, last sort of question, isn't a poll question. Did you know who this actor was before being cast as Kirk? But yes, you've heard of him before, or you've seen him in multiple things, right? So that guy, that guy. Or no, total new to you, let us know. Because for me, no idea.
Totally new to me as well. So
Well, I have been told I should watch Vampire Diaries.
I've been told this as well.
So,
but it's CW, so don't expect much.
That is a good. Yeah, that is a.
We have a new poll. I don't know if you guys. 102 people have seen it and voted on it. So if you haven't done that already, go check it out. It says, "Are you more or less excited for this Kirk after our live breakdown? More excited, less excited, or the same?"
That's the question.
Good poll. We also have 298 people here with 270 likes, which are pushing on for that 280. But let's see if we can get to 300. Everybody hit like now because we're gonna probably close out soon here.
Yep.
I want to hear your thoughts, guys, and hit that like button, please. Area 51, $5. I'm starting to regret turning down the role of Kirk, but I get more time here. Well, Area 51, we would have liked to see you on the screen, but thank you. We appreciate your patronage and your membership and your.
We appreciate you.
Yes, absolutely, we do. You'll always be Kirk to us.
So we're getting quite a few. Nope, still don't. No. Yeah, mostly no, it looks like, which is interesting.
Yeah, a lot of no's or no ideas. Never heard of this guy before.
Which is great, though, because when you come at him totally fresh, there's no...
Yeah.
He's too blonde to be, Bond, which is more aesthetic thing. But again, this graphic I made, I was really impressed once I finished it. Like, this really works. Well, I wouldn't say he looks younger than any of these people. Thinner, yes. I think he probably looks about the same age as Shatner in the first one. Maybe a little.
Yeah. I would say so.
But he should be a little bit younger. But he doesn't look young. He looks not old. It's weird. He kind of has that adult face. That Pine had the youthful face, and Shatner just has sort of a face. But so the fact he's as old as he is, he looks good for his age. But we all kind of will stay static for a while at that age anyway. With modern technology.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the day that I hit a brick wall. It's kind of been the same for a while now. But one day it's going to happen. It's going to be like, welcome back to Trekyards, everyone.
And then I'll be deep faking you every other week.
Please do. Please do. By then the technology will be good enough. I still think I got another 10 years at least, maybe 15. We'll still be doing Trekyards in 10 years, I think.
I mean, my dad, bar hair dyeing, has looked the same between 40 and 60. Or, well,
40, I'm 47.
49 and 60. So
that's why I said 10 to 15 years.
Okay, there you
I'm
go.
47. I'm almost 60. God damn it.
Don't think you knew how math worked there, but okay.
Simon Uphill puts in €5. As long as he can Kirk Fu. Gotta go as it's late here in Finland. Thanks for the ride. See you soon. Well,
see you soon.
Goodbye, Finland. Nice seeing you, man.
That's cool. Yeah, I'd love to go to Finland.
Stephen W. Fathry puts in $5. I missed y'all's entire stream, but did anyone mention the USS Sacagawea from the novels? They might have him in command of that ship in early 2260s. People have mentioned multiple ships online. We had another ship mentioned earlier in this chat.
From his autobiography, which is newer by a long way than the novels.
Yeah.
And that feels more licensed because people are going to reference that as like the official document, whereas a book is just a book. Lots of people have lots of books about lots of things. Not to discredit books, but they are their own thing. And their own thing going in. Like I read the Shatnerverse novels where he married and came back. Those aren't canon. I love them.
Novels, though.
Really good novels.
Yeah. Not a band account throws in $2. What's so hard about making fully TOS uniforms? I know, right? Nothing is hard about it, but apparently they just like to. Well, they're quadrupling whatever down their take that this isn't Prime with all their visuals.
I mean, the bridge is way bigger, way different, But I they've obviously gone one step closer. So I'm assuming that they will iteratively change uniforms and stars as they go.
And yeah. Dan Ben says people say because the USS Kelvin was in the 2009 movie, there has to be a Prime version that we need to see. Do you agree? No, we don't need to see one. And according to them, that was a Prime universe ship, but it was already altered and messed up by that point. So, because it was ridiculous, that ship. 26 shuttles at least in that one frame out of that ship.
And we know that we know that Simon Pegg, who wrote Star Trek Beyond, thought that the timeline diverged way before, so he didn't even think it was prime canon. He wrote the third movie. So there you go. But yeah, I think they'll iterate towards the uniform. It's an easy win, and it means they could sell, toys of the characters in the variant uniforms. And we've already seen many uniforms already in Strange New Worlds. I think we're on 5 or 6, if you include these 2 collars. So they are really punishing the let's make it uniform by making as many variations as possible. I mean, they're kind of throwing every show throws that wind a little bit, but that's okay.
Yeah. 291 people still here. 289 likes. We only need 11 more likes to get to 300. I would love to close this out with 300 likes. We're not going to go the full 2 hours, obviously.
Nope.
Because there's not much to talk about.
We won't go into anyway. We had our own other things we want to do.
Yeah, I got D&D at 8 o'clock, so it's an hour and 40 minutes away kind of thing. So
I only have a few hours left of before Picard work time to do. So I've got so many.
Shit. Yeah, tomorrow's Thursday.
I've got so many Romulan War shots I'm obligated to build, and that's can't do anything Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'm a bit stuffed on time, as is most weeks.
Damn, man, you overworked yourself.
Well, when you lose the weekend to Marie and then 2 days to Picard and
But what a weekend! Oh, Marie.
It's true. Obviously, it's true, but the clients disagree with that.
I'm looking out for you, Marie.
Yes.
Bye. 299 likes. We're only one away from 300. One person out there hasn't hit that like button, and I'm disappointed in all of you.
Oh.
Everyone that hasn't hit the like button. I'm sad now.
Jesus.
Oh, we're at 302. All right. You're starting to gain my...
yeah, are you taking that back? Are you rescinding your...
No.
What? Oh.
No. But I want $6 more. $6 more. One super chat of $6. I'm going to wait here for that. And hit the like button while we're waiting. Sam was like, please just let us get us on.
Oh, yeah, it's going well. But you'll see us Friday for our live on Picard. Very excited for that. See how it happens. Yes. This might be the break, the make it or break it episode. And I can announce, I have half told Stuart, I can tell you all as well, that next week on Wednesday, so today, next week, we're going to have the guys from Starship Farragut, which is the Wrath of Khan era fan film, on the live for a similarly 1 hour live discussion about their upcoming 30-minute film. It's the only Wrath of Khan film of this ilk.
Nice.
Currently on Indiegogo, but it's not necessarily why we're getting them on. It's more of a case of they're back. We're going to be getting the filmic side and lead actor side, who also founded it. And
nice.
I've seen a few of their interviews, and they're asked softball questions.
Ooh.
And
welcome to Trekyards, boys.
Yep. And it's like, yeah, we do different. We do it differently slightly. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And you've seen my Wrath of Khan, and it's certainly the most ambitious. I did joke to him with a 51% sincerity that I said, John, you should be in full uniform, so will we.
We? I mean, I could be kind of in uniform.
Close enough. Close enough. The director can't, but I said he could wear a director's hat or something, because he only did him, in a t-shirt for the other interviews. But I thought, wouldn't that be cool if we're all in full Wrath of Khan? I think it'd be pretty cool.
I think it would be cool.
You guys appreciate the quality.
Well, we got some super chats in. Area 51, $10. Beautiful spring day here, so feeling generous. Same here. I was out for a drive earlier. Not in the Camaro, just in the Cruise, but
cool.
George Mangrum, $10. Predictions for Disco and Picard before we go.
Oh, sure.
No.
Well, no, we need $5 more based on this number, so I can give quick predictions while you read the next super chat.
Well, the next super chat is Squadron Course with $1.
There we go.
Last super chat slot. So.
Okay, my prediction: Discovery will end on a big cliffhanger that will be thoroughly underwhelming, but will be a positive message by the end of it, and they're going to reverse the script, and books going to be stopped very quickly, and it'll be another plot, and I think they're probably going to phase into our galaxy maybe as well at a certain point, or they'll get the Vija reveal or Whale Probe reveal, at the end to kind of be like, it was them the whole time. Maybe they send a new probe to Earth and it's a new whale probe. Maybe the last shot of the season is a new whale probe over Earth. And it's like, fuck. Okay. That's stuff. Do you want to go discover?
I'll do my discovery one real quick while you think about the card. I think that Burnham's going to have to make a hard choice and choose the Federation or Book, and she's going to have to end up killing Book. That would be amazing. Bad, because I like Book, but hey. Or at least think she killed Book in some way to stop the DMA from collapsing. And I think that's what's going to happen. She hasn't really faced any real hard choices or loss at all, really. And it'd be a really good thing for the character. Jet Reno will probably die as well, which she hasn't really been in it much anyway, so yeah, it might help her the actor anyway. But yeah, I think it's going to end on a cliffhanger for the next season. They're going to be stuck outside the galaxy, not be able to get back through the galactic barrier from the other side, from this side. So I think that's what's going to happen. 10C might help them or something. Or put them back in the galaxy if that's the case. But I don't know. I think it's going to end on a cliffhanger for season 5. That's my prediction. Now, what about Pickard? Jean-Luc Pickard.
That's obviously a massive curveball. There's the I hope this, I think. I hope they spend 10 minutes in the alternate universe and then go back in time. I think it'll be 5 minutes, go back in time. I think the Queen will be the main story of the episode. I think they're going to do 2 parts. Picard is going to go off. The Queen's going to be taking over the ship and lead to a sort of monster story, which I don't really want to see very much. I'm not that interested in that, but it's fine. Picard's going to go exploring, find something important straight away, which will be surprising for us, because they're going to burn through a storyline quite quickly. I think we're going to get Brent in it, and Q, and start that as well, all episode 3. And maybe even as Picard jumps in time, maybe an alternate ship might jump with it. They might also try and match trajectory, because maybe they can, Picard on the E went through time by just following. Maybe they can recalculate the equation as they go, and then a bit of, I don't necessarily want that, but I think we're getting a lot of the stuff in very quickly. I think we're going to beat around the bush, and we're going to straight into it, and see like, wow, that was quick, going into it now.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think we're going to see probably 10 minutes in the alternate reality. They're going to get these guys off the ship. The Queen's going to get them back in time, and then we're going to get the introduction to 2024 and maybe meet somebody important, like you said, either Brent or whatever. I don't necessarily think Brent's going to be in the next episode, though, honestly. But we're going to get a lay of the land as far as what's going on with the past. And let's just hope they don't stay there too long. I don't have much other predictions other than that. Just that it's going to be about 10 minutes or so in this alternate reality in the future before they go the slingshot effect back in time. So Ty Solo Bleak has joined the channel at the rank of captain. So welcome aboard, Captain. Good to see you. We can always use more captains.
Thank you. Amazing.
The one at the helm here is kind of incompetent.
It's always drunk. On since a whole though,
I'm drunk on power.
Well, not with this many captains around you, Stuart. Your prestige lowers by all of you guys saying, yes, we want to support Trekyards. And that is phenomenal. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. We look forward to continuing our daily content.
Casual Trekker throws in that $5 we needed, so thank you. On Disco, Book sort of sacrifices himself, uses the ship to blow it up with him in it, and Burnham tries to talk him out of it, but there is no time. Yes, something like that would be great. To beams Jet Reno over or something. Probably saves Tarka too, just because that would be awful if he saved Tarka and sacrifices himself. But hey, that could be a possibility as well. So good call there, Casual Trekker. And thank you, by the way, Casual Trekker, for upgrading from Commander to Captain during this live. That was awesome. This was definitely a live for channel membership and for promotion. So thank you, everybody.
Amazing.
And on that note, we have such a great crew. I think we can sign off the air for now because they've got everything covered out there. And we'll see you guys. Well, you'll definitely see me tomorrow night. But we'll see you guys in the next few days. So until then, he is still Commander Cocking because I haven't allowed him to upgrade his membership.
It's true. He's still Captain Foley, and that's still Captain Kirk, apparently. Who knew Captain Kirk?